Okay, this is the exterior video review for the 1965 Gillig schoolie. In the front here you got the 3-point receiver hitch, which would let you build a very sturdy deck for hauling quads or whatever you want on the front of this. Air wipers, last I drove it, both worked. You've got a nice access panel for all the fuse bus and wiring right in here. Power steering, air brake control, throttle linkage, all of that. This is a good driving bus, runs real good. Got that and that and all that stuff. So, does need a fresh paint job, obviously, and for an old rig, it's in reasonable condition. This piece of glass needs to be replaced. This piece of glass needs to be replaced. Those are good. I was going to block off some of those windows, but I guess that will be up to you. Of course, the body has some signs of wear from its age. Some of it's been stabilized, some of it needs to be redone. As you can see here, the tread depth is reasonable, but would recommend fresh tires, just par for course. Actually, all of the treads on this rig are pretty good. It recently made a 200-mile trip without problem. That's your spare. It has a bit of a chunk out of it. This used to be one of the drivers, but I had to put the spare on, which has thin treads. So you have thin tread on one wheel. We'll get to that. Now, what this does have is the solar battery maintainer with a like 1300 farad Maxwell ultra capacitor in the start circuit. Now what that does is that ensures that pretty much no matter what, you can start this rig. You can charge this capacitor up just with the solar panel. It will take it some time. End of the day, you can hit that start button and that ultra capacitor will spin that engine like happy, as you saw in the other video where I started it for the first time in 6 months. Now we have an older battery that I use to help hold charge on it there that the solar panel maintains and keeps full. This combination right here is sufficient to happily start this bus. Can't stress the advantage of having an ultra capacitor in the start circuit enough. It's like a $700 device right there that ensures the starter gets amazing voltage and current that it needs to turn over this 12-liter engine. You got your main power switch here for turning on the electrical, turning off the electrical. This is a bypass oil filter, so this rig actually has its own oil filtration system on it. This is an ultrafine filter that basically refines the oil and filters it down to an extremely small particulate and recirculates that oil back into the engine. Then you've got your oil fill tube, you've got your fuel filter, you've got your power steering. There you have your oil filter canister. There's the fuel tank in there. Not sure its capacity, probably 100 gallons. It's pretty good size. It's longer than a 55-gallon drum anyway, maybe 80 gallons, I don't know. I'm sure it's in the specifications. It has been upgraded with a nice beefy modern like 200 amp whatever heavy duty, biggest I could get alternator. Going on back, of course Oh yeah, you've got a little bit of a whoop-dee in this side where it got, I think, caught on a stump, letting other people drive it. Okay, here's your fuel door. Step back and look up the side. It's got a nice rain gutter down along this whole edge. You could do rainwater collection if you wanted. All right, now here's the thin tread. That one is quite thin. This was the spare until that one spitted chunks. But you can see the inner has pretty respectable tread, so it's safe to make it a trip to the workshop that's going to give it the TLC that it needs. All right, a little bit of the repair that needs to be done. All right, all that stuff. Okay, let me get rid of these guys. There we go. Boy, they're quick. All right, here you have the trunk space, which is sufficient. Actually, it's ginormous, sufficient for most of the bus's systems. It has this freshwater tank, needs to be installed. Has this frame mount propane tank, needs to be installed. Has its water pump that goes with the tank. A little bit of spare antifreeze. And a nice 50-ton mechanical jack here in case you got to change a tire on the road. Yeah, it has a stinger and a 2-inch ball, drain hose, a little bit of electrical. This is the door that goes to that other side that got caught on the stump. It needs some TLC. Alright, it has been wired with a trailer brake controller and what is this here? 5-point? Yeah, 5-point, 6-point connector. You got this super beefy flush mount. Class 3 plus receiver hitch. This thing is pretty seriously attached. Alright, so there it is where it attaches. It's welded across the frame. It has a nice beam and spanner. It's all triangulated in. That will pull a good trailer. Also, you have this ginormous Blackwater tank that is fully plumbed into the commode, so the toilet works. You got a massive gray water tank and a fancy chrome exhaust tip. Alright, so moving along. You've got the rear hatch here through which you can load a hang glider or airplane wings like I have done. It shuts pretty reasonably. Of course, everything here in the Northwest needs regular oiling, right? Alright, just general condition sweep. Oh, the windows have squeegeed to them just with a little bit of Windex and a touch of Elmer's glue in it. It has Mylar on the windows, which helps increase their R factor and privacy. Here you have your drain for the gray and black water. Everything